Costco loses $40 million a year on this $5 chicken. Here's why they won't stop. Every single day, millions of perfectly normal adults wake up, drive to a giant warehouse, pay for the privilege of entering that warehouse, and then lose their minds over a $5 chicken. A whole chicken, fully cooked, feeds your entire family. $5. And here is the part that should genuinely disturb you. Costco loses money on every single one. Not by accident, not because of some rounding error nobody noticed. On purpose. Costco loses an estimated $40 million every year selling you that chicken, and they have absolutely no intention of stopping. So either the person running Costco's pricing strategy has completely lost the plot, or there is something much smarter happening here than a discounted bird. I will give you one guess which one it is. Now, before we get into the chicken, I need to correct something you almost certainly believe about Costco. You think it is a supermarket, a big one, a cheap one. But a supermarket, it is not. Costco is a membership club that sells groceries as a side activity. And that single word, membership, changes everything about how this business works. Right now, there are around 130 million Costco members worldwide. Each one pays between $60 and $130 every year. Not for a product, not for a service, just for the right to walk through the door. Here is the number that will reframe everything you thought you knew about this company. In a recent year, Costco made approximately $6 billion in operating profit. $4.6 billion of that came directly from membership fees. Say that out loud. $4.6 billion from people paying to shop there before a single item left the shelf. The groceries, the electronics, the inexplicable 4-kilogram tubs of mayonnaise that nobody ordered, the kayak inexplicably placed between the cheese and the protein powder, all of that runs at almost zero profit margin. Costco does not need to make money selling you things. It already made the money the moment you handed over your annual fee. Everything else, the entire store, is theater designed to make sure you hand it over again next year. Now go back to the chicken, because now it makes complete sense, almost uncomfortable sense. Costco has 130 million members paying every year. The entire business depends on one thing, those people renewing. And people renew for exactly one reason. Every time they walk into that store, they feel like they are getting a deal that nobody else on earth is getting. That feeling is the product, not the chicken. The feeling. The rotisserie chicken is what psychologists call a loss leader, a product priced deliberately below cost to create an overwhelming emotional association with value. But here is where Costco does something almost offensive in how clever it is. When they first started selling the chicken, it was $4.99. That was 2009. Since then, the cost of producing that chicken, feed, labor, energy, packaging, has gone up significantly. Every major competitor raised their prices to reflect that. Walmart raised theirs. Kroger raised theirs. Whole Foods now charges $15 for a comparable chicken and somehow looks you directly in the eye while doing it. Costco kept it at $4.99, not because they had to, because they decided it was worth absorbing a larger and larger annual loss, rather than break the psychological promise they made to their members. They even built a $275 million chicken processing facility in Nebraska, specifically to control costs enough to hold the price. $275 million to protect a $5 chicken. Just sit with that for a second. What that investment actually bought was not cheaper chickens. It bought the single most valuable thing any business can own: trust. The unshakable belief in every member's brain that Costco will always give you the best price, even when it hurts them to do it, especially when it hurts them to do it. And here is what trust does to consumer behavior. When you trust a store that completely, you stop comparing prices, you stop checking Amazon, you stop looking across the street, you just go, automatically, without thinking. Costco's membership renewal rate is 93%. 93% of members renew every single year. For context, Netflix is not at 93%. Your gym membership is absolutely not at 93%. Most subscription businesses would completely restructure themselves to achieve 70%. That number, 93%, is what $40 million a year in chicken losses actually buys. Best return on investment in the history of retail. And they are not even the ones buying the chicken. But here is where it gets a little sinister. Because the chicken is only one layer of this. Walk into any Costco store and pay careful attention to where the chicken actually is. It is not near the entrance. It is not near the checkout. It is at the very back of the store, in the far corner, as far from the front door as it is physically possible to be, while technically still being inside the building. This is not a mistake. This is architecture as psychology. To collect your $5 chicken, you have to walk the entire length of the store. Past the 85-inch television you absolutely did not come in for. Past the cashmere jumper that has no business being next to the bulk rice. Past the seasonal section where Costco decided without explanation to put a kayak between the artisan cheese and the industrial protein powder. By the time you reach that chicken, your cart has already happened to you. The average Costco transaction is $180. People walk in for a $5 chicken. They walk out having spent $180 every time, without fail, like clockwork. This is the halo effect in retail form. The loss leader creates an emotional state. I am saving money. I am being smart. This store is on my side. And that state makes you more willing to spend on everything around it. The $5 chicken is not costing Costco $40 million a year. It is generating hundreds of millions in additional basket spend annually. The loss is the highest returning marketing investment in retail history, disguised as a bird. And then there is the detail that pushed this whole story from clever to genuinely unhinged. Costco pumps the smell of the chicken through the store's ventilation system. They pipe the smell. You are not smelling the chicken because you walked past it. You are smelling it because someone made a deliberate decision that you should smell it from the moment you enter. Warm, cooked, comforting, activating every hunger signal and comfort response your brain has spent decades associating with home and safety and reward. You walked in for a chicken. You are now slightly hungry, slightly warm, emotionally comfortable, in a store that feels like it is looking after you, surrounded by things that feel like incredible deals, with a cart that is filling up with items you will absolutely convince yourself you needed. Costco did not sell you a chicken. Costco sold you a psychological state, and then charged you for everything you bought while you were inside it. So what is the actual lesson here? It is not about chickens. It is not even really about Costco. It is about understanding what game a company is actually playing. Costco is not in the grocery business. Costco is in the trust business. Every single decision they make, the loss leader pricing, the zero margin products, the membership model, the $275 million factory, the smell pumped through the vents, the chicken at the back of the store. Every single one of those decisions is engineered to produce one feeling in your brain. That Costco is on your side. And when you genuinely believe a company is on your side, something shifts. You stop being a customer. You become loyal. You renew without questioning it. You bring your family. You tell people. You get mildly annoyed when someone criticizes them in a conversation. Costco has convinced 130 million people to pay for the privilege of spending money with them. And those people are grateful about it. That is not a supermarket, and that is one of the greatest psychological operations in the history of consumer capitalism, disguised as a warehouse. Here is the question I want to leave you with. Is what Costco is doing genius? Building trust so strong that customers stay loyal for life? Or is it manipulation, engineering your emotions so precisely that you never even notice it happening? Drop your answer in the comments, because I genuinely think this one goes both ways. And the next time you put a $5 chicken in your cart, ask yourself one thing: who is really getting the deal here?